All right, guys. So far we've talked about adding our exponents, subtract or multiplying our exponents. Today, what we're going to do is talk about subtracting our exponents when we divide. Okay, so our first problem here says expand x to the ninth divided by x to the seventh and simplify. So we're going to go ahead and expand this. So you get x times x 9 times divided by x times x 7 times. Okay, so when we go ahead and do this, we start simplifying. Okay, we get all these canceling out, and what are we left with? X to the second power. Okay, so our property number one, to divide powers having the same base, we subtract the exponents. Okay, so it's the numerator minus the denominator. Let's give these a couple tries. Okay, simplify and remember that you cannot have no negative exponents. Okay, so number one, we have y to the eighth power divided by y to the second power, same base. So we're going to go ahead and subtract our exponents. So we get y, 8 minus 2 is 6. Okay, first step of number two, we're going to go ahead and just simplify our fraction. Okay, 3/6 is 1/2. Then you're going to go ahead and do y, 14 minus 17. So now go ahead, take care of your y minus 14 minus 17. So you get y to the negative third over 2. Okay, so here you cannot have any negative exponents. So when we go ahead and take care of our negative exponents, we're going to take this and move it to the bottom. So you're going to end up with 1 over 2y to the third. All right, so when you look at this, anytime you come up with a negative exponent, you're always going to move it to the denominator. Okay, number three, we want to simplify first. So when you're multiplying the numbers with the same base, you're going to go ahead and add your exponents. So 4 plus 3 is 7, and you get x over 18. So now you're going to do x 7 minus 18, and you get x to the negative 11. When you do this, you come up with a negative exponent, so you're going to go ahead and move that to the bottom. So 1 will be our placeholder, and your answer 1 over x to the 11th power. Okay, number four, same base. So we're going to go ahead and subtract our exponents. You get x to the negative fifth power. You can't have that, so that has to move to the bottom. So you get 1 over x to the fifth. Notice every time we have ended up with a negative exponent, we put it in the denominator. All right, let's take a look at number five now. Number five is a little bit different. Let's go ahead and move our negative exponent right away to the top. Remember, when we do not want negative exponents, so you can switch levels to change it from a negative to a positive. So you have x y to the eighth times x to the second power over y to the fifth. All right, let's simplify here. Let's take care of our multiplication. Remember, when you're multiplying the same base, you're going to add your exponents. So you get x to the third, y to the eighth over y to the fifth. Now go ahead and take care of this. X to the third, y to the 8 minus 5. Your final answer, x to the third, y to the third. All right, number 5. Okay, you can't move anything around. You can't simplify the numbers out front, so you're going to go ahead and take care of this. What does y to the 0 equal? Y to the 0 just equals 1. So essentially, those just cancel out. So what are we left with? Can you simplify 5 over x? No. There's your answer. Okay, number 7, let's simplify our fraction out front. So 2 divided by 4 is 1/2. X to the 19th over x to the 8th. So now you're going to go ahead and do 1/2 x 19 minus 8. You get x to the 11th over 2. Okay, you do not need a 1 there, so I'm not going to go ahead and write it. All right, number 8. I'm going to go ahead and subtract, since you're dividing numbers with the same base. Subtract your exponents, and you just get y. All right, property number 2. Property number 2, the power of a quotient property. We distribute the exponent to both the numerator and the denominator. Okay, let's simplify and remember again, no negative exponents. So number 9, our 2 is outside. You have to distribute that to every single term on the inside. So the 3 gets it, the x gets it, the 4 gets it, and the y gets it. So you have 3 squared, x squared, over 4 squared and y squared. So go ahead and let's take care of our our whole numbers. So 9x squared over 4 squared is 16. Y to the second power, I'm sorry, I don't know why that's a 3. Okay, can you simplify 9 over 16? No. So that would be your final answer. Number 10, the 2 gets it and the x gets it. So 2 to the third power over x to the third. Okay, so take care of your 2 to the third power. You get 8 over x to the third. Can't simplify anymore, so there's your final answer. All right, number 11. Okay, number 11, you're distributing it to the negative 8, to the x to the squared power, and to the 4. So we're going to go ahead and keep our negative 8 in parentheses. Okay, remember when you multiply your exponents when you're distributing, so 2 times 2 is 4, and you get 4 squared. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take care of our exponents out front. So negative 8 times negative 8 is 64. X to the fourth power over 4 squared is 16. Okay, simplify. 64 divided by 16, you end up with 4 x to the fourth power. There's your final answer. All right, number 12. Okay, number 12, negative exponents don't do anything. You can still distribute that to everywhere in there. Okay, so you get y, negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, over y, 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. Okay, we have a negative exponent first, so let's go ahead and move that to our numerator. So you get y to the 4th times y to the 16th. Okay, now you can go ahead and multiply. Okay, when you're multiplying numbers with the same base, you're going to add your exponents. So you get y4 plus 16 is 20. Y to the 20th power is your final answer. Okay, 13. Okay, 13, you have the negative 4, you have to multiply it by everything on the inside. Okay, so the 2 gets it, the x gets it, the 4 gets it, and the x gets it. So 2 to the negative 4th power times x to the negative 4th power over 4 to the negative 4th power x to the negative 20th power. Okay, notice you have negative exponents for everything, so you have to flip your entire fraction. Okay, so 4 to the 4th power comes up, x to the 20th power, 2 to the 4th power, x to the 4th power. Okay, so you cannot do anything with a negative exponent until it changes to a positive. So now you can go ahead and take care of your numbers with exponents now. So 4 to the 4th power is 256. X to the 20th is going to come with it. 2 to the 4th power is 16. And then the x to the 4th is going to come with it. Okay, so let's simplify our fraction out front. You get 16. Okay, and then you can go ahead and take care of your x to the 20th, x to the 4th, same base. When you divide them, you subtract your exponents. So you're going to end up with 16x to the 16th power. All right, number 14. Number 14, that negative 2 needs to be distributed to every term in the inside. So x gets it, y gets it, z gets it, okay, your L gets it, your M gets it, and your N gets it. So you have x to the negative 2, y to the negative 2, z to the negative 2 over L to the negative 2, M to the negative 2, N to the negative 2. Notice everything is negative, so you're going to go ahead and flip your entire fraction. So your answer is going to be L squared, M squared, N squared over x squared, y squared, z squared. That's it. You can't simplify anything else from there. You don't have anything with the same base, so your answer is final. All right, number 5, negative 4 is going to be distributed to both. So 1 to the negative 4 over 3 to the negative 4. You cannot simplify anything until you have positive exponents. So we're going to go ahead and flip our fraction. So you get 3 to the 4th over 1 to the 4th. Okay, 3 to the 4th is 81. 1 to the 4th is 1. So your final answer is just 81. Okay, go ahead and try 16 on your own. Okay, so 15, okay, we went over is 81. 16, when you distribute it, make sure you take care of your whole numbers first. So you get 9 over 16, then take care of your exponents. Okay, and then remember, it comes out with a negative exponent. That negative exponent is always going to be in your denominator when you subtract. Okay, if it's a positive, you're going to leave it in the numerator. If it's a negative, you're going to put it in the denominator. All right, so let's move on and try putting it all together now. Okay, when you put it all together, first step is simplifying anything we have. So here you want to simplify. So you have 4a to the 8m over 8 times 1 is 8. A, remember when you're multiplying numbers with the same base here, you're going to add your exponents. So let's go ahead, simplify the front. You get 1/2 a to the 8m over a to the 14m. So now what we want to do is you're dividing by the same base, so you're going to subtract your exponents. So am minus 14m over 2. When you do this, you get a to the negative 6m over 2. Okay, remember, you cannot have that negative exponent, so we have to take that and move it to the denominator. So you get 1 over 2a to the positive 6m. All right, number 2, that negative 3 has to be distributed to both terms on the inside. So you get 2 to the negative 18, and you get 2 to the negative 36th power. Okay, you have 2 negative exponents, so both of those are going to go ahead and flip. So you get 2 to the positive 36 over 2 to the 18th. Okay, you have the same base, so you're going to subtract your exponents. So 236 minus 18. You're going to come up with 2 to the 18th power. That's going to be a very large number, so we're going to go ahead and leave it as 2 to the 18th power. All right, number 3. Okay, it doesn't matter if you have a variable as your exponent, you still have to distribute that like we would with any number out there. So you get a to the negative 8p over a to the negative 40p. Okay, you have 2 negative exponents, so you're going to go ahead and take those and flip. So you get a to the positive 40p over a to the 8p. So go ahead now and subtract a to the 40p minus 8p, and your final answer is a to the 32p. All right, number 4. Number 4 here, you want to go ahead and simplify your h's up top. Remember, when you're multiplying with the same base, you add your exponents. So 17 plus 20 is 37 over h to the 35th. So now you're going to go ahead and simplify some more by subtracting your exponents now. So 37 minus 35, you get h to the 2nd power. Okay, number 5, I'm going to go ahead and simplify my fraction out front. Okay, 7 goes into 7 one time. 7 goes into 49 7 times, so 1 over 7 is simplified. And I'm just going to carry my variables with it. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and move our negative exponents first, take care of those. So c to the 10th is going to the bottom, c to the negative 45, and x to the negative 5th is going up. So you get x to the 20th, which stays, x to the 5th moved up, and c to the 45 moved up, over 7 stays, and then c to the 10th is moving down. Now let's go ahead and simplify some more here. Same base, you're multiplying together, so you're going to go ahead and add the exponents. So you get x to the 25th, c to the 45th over 7, c to the 10th. Last step here. Same base, you're going to subtract your exponents. So x to the 25th, 45 minus 10 is 35, all over 7. Remember, when you subtract 45 minus 10, and it's a positive number, you're going to leave it in the numerator. If that would have came out to a negative number, you would have put it in the denominator. All right, number 6, your exponent is attached to this set of parentheses here, so you're only distributing that 2 inside those parentheses. So that means the 3x m to the 5y stays. Okay, m, 4y minus 2 is 8y. And then you have n, 2 times p is 2p. So here, look to combine or simplify. We can combine these right here. So our 3x comes with it. M, we're going to add our exponents. So 13y. And the 2p comes with. And that's your final answer. You can't simplify any more from there. All right, number 7. Okay, and these you can go ahead and simplify everything on the inside. That's what's nice about exponents. You can simplify as much as possible. So let's go ahead and take care of our fraction out front. You get 1/5, a to the 8th, c to the negative 12th. Okay, bring this along and remember to always bring your exponent. So now what we want to do is look at moving any negative exponents. Okay, so a to the 8th is going to stay. A to the 1, 0, 10 is coming up. You have c to the 7th staying on the bottom and c to the 12th coming down. So notice we still have not done anything with our exponent. Okay, still simplifying. You have 1 over 5 because now you can take care of your top and bottom. You're going to add your exponents, a to the 18th over c to the 19th. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go ahead and distribute. When we do that, we get 1 squared, a to the 36th power, over 5 squared, c to the 38th power. So now simplify this. You have a to the 36th power over 25c to the 38th power. Okay, why don't you go ahead and try number 8 and number 9 on your own. All right, so here's the answers for 8 and 9. We'll go over the rest in a little bit. Thanks. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at number 10 here. Okay, number 10. What we want to do first before we take care of all our negative exponents here, okay, see how we have the negative exponents? We're not going to do anything with those yet. What we're going to do is see if we can combine them all, remember, by the same base theorem. Okay, you got the same base here, so when we do that, we add all our exponents. Okay, so let's take care of our whole numbers out front. Our whole number is 2 times 3 times negative 4 times negative 5 is going to give us 120. Okay, and then what we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at our bases now. 8 minus 2 is 6, plus 14 is 20, minus 20 is 0, so you're going to get x to the 0. We know x to the 0 is 1, so our final answer is just 120. All right, number 11. Okay, anything raised to the 0, we can go ahead and cancel out, so we have negative 2 times, you got to distribute the x to everything on the inside. So you get a to the negative 2x, d to the negative 4x, all over a to the 9x, and d to the negative 5x. Okay, so we have to go ahead and keep simplifying on the inside of these parentheses here. So you can do all of those, flip them around because they're negatives. So you're left with d to the 5x on top, over a to the 9x on the bottom. What are we moving down? A to the 2x, and d to the 4x. Okay, go ahead and keep simplifying. You have negative 2 times d. You have negative 2 times d. 5 minus 4 is 1x, so d to the x over. You're also going to go ahead and combine your 9x plus 2x, so you get a to the 11x. So go ahead and finish off your problem. You have negative 2d to the x over a to the 11x. There is your final answer. All right, why don't you go ahead and give the last two a try on your own. All right, number 12. Okay, your first step should have been to do 15 minus 9. You get 6. Okay, and then you're multiplying the same bases to get 14r. And number 13, simplify your fraction out front. Okay, and then what you have to do, all of these are going to go ahead and flip. Okay, then you want to go ahead and subtract your exponents. So 8 minus 2 is 6, where we get this. Here, you come up 3 minus 10 is negative 7. Remember that negative always goes in the bottom, so is y to the 7. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the last few here. Determine whether the following are true or false. If false, find the correct answer. Okay, 2x equals 1. Well, we know this is false. Why? Because this is supposed to cancel out. What are we left with then? 2. So 2x to the 0 actually equals 2. Okay, negative 10 to the second we know is true. 16. Okay, 16, x to the 3m divided by x to the 2m is x to the 1m. Yeah, that's true. Okay, all they did was subtract. And number 17. Okay, 2, 8 to the third. Well, this is false. Why? Because the bases stay the same, and then you add your exponents. So 2 to the 11th should be the final answer. Okay, if you need any extra help, come find any one of your teachers or go to the math resource room. Okay, homework tonight is worksheet 4.